And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MotorMaster Monday, live here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway on NASCAR Heat 5. It is round 22 of the 2021 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series season, and we're live and already rocking and rolling here in Stage 1. It is a 100-lap race, 25 drivers out there on the racetrack driving the Xfinity Series cars with the preset sliders and the fuel and tire wear at ×2. I'm NOSSCAR CEO Tyler McMurder. Strap yourselves in and get ready to enjoy the action, folks. There's only 8 races, including this one, before the playoffs begin, and the intensity has been picking up over the course of the late stages of the regular season. Right now, you're watching the battle for the lead here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Josh Cole-Diaz in the 7 trying to hold off Jordan Dorsek in the 74. Jordan, in that 74 car, comes into this race with 5 wins and 3rd in the point standings. He qualified on the pole. He's got Jason Doro to the inside of him. They're coming out of turn 4. Robbie Racing in the 99 Toyota, and Nick Don Francesco in the number 6 Chevy Camaro. They're right there in the top 5, and there's a bit of breathing room to the drivers running 6th on back, and the field is spread out just a little bit over the course of Stage 1, and I'm a little bit surprised that we're off to such a clean start here in Stage 1 with such a large starting grid at the Magic Mile. Throwing it down to one of our in-race reporters, Alex Tesdahl. Alex, how's your car handling so far here in Stage 1, and what's the vibe been like for you as you're battling traffic in mid-pack?
Well, it started off handling pretty good, then had some contact with the 15 and got spun, so it's pretty tight currently.
Sorry to hear that. We missed that, actually, and just moments ago you were right there in the thick of things in this Hornet's Nest, in this F5 Tornado that we're watching go around the Magic Mile, and hopefully it's a long race, so hopefully you can bounce back here. We're watching a good battle between Clashton in the 07, Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 61, and that's the 6-time NOSSCAR champion, Jordan Green in the Hunt Brothers pizza car right there on the outside line. This is all happening just a little bit outside of the top 10. Just in front of them is Matt Smith in the 10 car. He started at the tail of the field, but he's working his way forward. It's just behind this 39 car that we're looking at of Harold Burton, longtime NOSSCAR driver. And getting a report from one of our in-race reporters, the 54 Toyota Supra of Kevin Tattersall is on pit road, getting service, and he started at the tail of the field as well. We're throwing it back up to the front of the field. This is what the battle for the lead looks like. Great start for Josh in the 7 car. No wins this season for him in the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series here on MotorMaster Mondays, but he's got a win, 2 wins in fact, on Tailgate Tuesdays in the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series. Still battling side by side just behind him for the 2nd position. There you see the 74, the pole sitter for this race. Jordan Dorsek is going to have to surrender 2nd for now to the 08 Camaro of Jason Doro. Throwing it down to one of our in-race reporters, Cameron Norton. Cameron, I'm pretty sure nobody needs to make any pit stops under green flag conditions. What do you think Kevin Tattersall came to pit road for?
Probably to play a little strategy to get everybody's game off, you know. We'll have strategies to win in the races, so I think it's going to come down to mind games, honestly.
Very well could, and problems here on the front straightaway. It's Ayrton Frederick in the 15, and I couldn't tell who the other car was there involved, but we have a caution on the racetrack for the first time in this race for an on-track incident. It looked like it was the 0 car of Dustin McClintock that was involved, so a 2-car incident on the front straightaway has brought out the caution, and this is going to bring a lot of these drivers to pit road, I would think. Make some adjustments to these cars, if these cars are on the preset sliders, so very much bare with no adjustments out there until they bring it to pit road, and this changes everything. It's not a long stage. It's a 22-lap stage here for Stage 1. And they've already logged a number of laps. We're over halfway through this stage when we go back racing. Let's throw it down to Alex Tesdahl to find out how many laps to go in Stage 1.
I'll let you know when we take 3 quiet.
Oh, okay. I was trying to catch it before it disappeared because it always says it at the top. And coming to the line to the restart zone, some strategy was definitely deployed. Robbie Racing from Great Britain leads the race with Cameron Norton in the 1 on his outside. And you heard it from Alex, 7 laps to go. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 rides around the outside to take the lead back. Jason Doro in the 08 is going to try to follow him through. Robbie racing in the 99. Nick Don Francesco, they're 4 and 5 wide going into turn 3. Yep, there was contact made there between the 6 and the 99, but I believe it was the 07 that put the 6 into the 99. There's really not that much space to go 4 and 5 wide here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, but they did it, and we're still green. In fact, all 25 of these drivers are still in the same pack, and they're all cruising with a shot to win this thing still. They're all on the lead lap, and there's only 6 laps to go in stage 1.
Actually, there's 1 car a lap down, 54.
Josh Colm-Diaz leading the way, 5 to go. Jordan Dorosek right behind him in the 2nd position. Jason Doro in 3rd. There's a little bit of breathing room in between the drivers running 3rd and 4th. Stephen Corley in the 22 has worked his way all the way up into the 5th position. It's the highest he's run all race long. And there's a good look at the 2020 NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series champion, Matt Smith. He's to the inside of Dustin Franklin. And looks like he's going to give a push to the 8 car of Trey Hollywood. And they're going into turn 1 now with Jordan Roughton in the 18 leading this group of 6 or 7 cars. They're 3 wide as they exit 2. Oh, and didn't have enough room to pull the corner off there. Bowman got shoved into the outside wall just a little bit there. He got squeezed and he's going to lose position. He's still in that pack with them. And all the way up to the outside wall goes Dustin McClintock. There was contact made between he and Trenton Krentz. There's still contact on the main straightaway here, the front stretch.
That looks like some retaliation.
It does, and tempers are flaring here at the Magic Mile. 100 lap event, and like I said, folks, at the top of the broadcast, only 8 races remaining until the playoffs begin, so these drivers are hungrier now more than ever, and a lot of them need a win at this point to advance and punch their ticket into the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series playoffs, and they're battling hard up front right now for the Stage 1 win.
2 laps to go.
0 just wrecked again.
Get the report, 2 laps to go. Josh Colm-Diaz trying to hold on for less than a lap and a half now as he works his way through turns 3 and 4. Jordan Dorosek in the 74 is losing touch a little bit with the race leader, and he might run out of time, and the white flag is in the air. The next time by, they will see the green and white checkered flag to signal the end of Stage 1. It's round 22. The 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season hosted right here on NASCAR Heat 5, and Josh Colm-Diaz closing in on another stage win here in his NASCAR MotorMaster Series career. He has wins in this series, but still looking for that first one of 2021. Could tonight be the night he's off to a great start? Josh Colm-Diaz wins stage 1 here at the Magic Mile. Jordan Dorosek in the 74 is going to hold on for second, and it looked like he was actually shrinking the interval in between himself and the leader as the laps were winding down. We can tell you Jason Doro got 3rd. Stephen Corley gets 4th place stage points, and Clashin in the 07 Chevy Camaro is going to bring it home in 5th. The end of stage 1. 25 drivers on the racetrack, and about to enter stage 2. This is going to put the 54 back onto the lead lap here for the beginning of stage 2. So all 25 of these drivers are going to have a good go at it here in stage 2. They'll all be on the lead lap and able to battle with each other for positions. All these drivers have been on pit road once already in this race, at least once. The 54 has been on pit road twice.
I got some breaking news. Someone just had an engine failure right in front of me.
Coming to the restart zone. Doesn't look like too much change in the way of track position towards the front, and we are green for stage 2, the New Hampshire 200. Side by side going into turn 1. Up the hill went the 08 Chevy, but he gathers it back up and keeps it off the 74, and they're still 2x2 as they head towards turn 3. so many different lines you can use here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and they're getting about 38 laps on the fuel tanks, and these stages are much shorter than that, so if they go green the entire distance, it might become a battle of who can manage their tires over the course of the run and still maintain good track position and maintain good speed and lap times. The 7 of Josh, he clears Jordan in the 74 for now. Jordan takes a bit of a higher line through 3 and 4. He's going to have a better exit than Josh in the 7, and you can see he pulls the Earnhardt crossover move, goes to the bottom and looking for the lead. He led that lap at the line, and it looks like Jason Doro in the 08 Camaro is going to go with him. In fact, he's going to make it 3 wide through 1 and 2. You can do that here in New Hampshire. It was 4 and 5 wide we were seeing earlier that I didn't think you could get away with, but they did. Oh, this is good stuff. There was minor contact there between Stephen Corley in the 22 and Jordan Dorset in the 74. Very tough to keep the car on the bottom, very flat down there. And here comes Matt Smith in the 10. And the top 7 drivers have separated themselves from the rest of the field. Dustin Franklin running in the 8th position in that number 11 car, trying to lead the second group of cars back to the front. As of now, it's Josh Colm-Diaz, Jason Doro, Stephen Corley, Jordan Dorset, Matt Smith. Your top 5, Robbie Racing has worked his way into 6th. That's Clashin in the 07 car, right there in 7th in this lead group. And getting a better look here at Jason Doro. Got 3 wins this season, coming off a big win last week at Gateway, and second in the point standings, firmly locked into the playoffs. One of the favorites to make the Final Four and make a run for this championship. Looked like he got a little bit tight there in the corner. That allowed Jordan Dorset to pounce in the 74. There might have been minor contact, and Doro in the 08 is going to lose a couple of positions. Not only the Jordan in the 74, but Stephen Corley in the 22 Ford Mustang was able to get by, and so was Matt Smith in the 10. Back to 5th goes Jason Doro, and just behind him is Robbie Racing in the 99 Toyota Supra, making his first start in that car. Drove the number 4 Chevy Camaro for a few starts here this year in the MotorMaster Series before bringing this new car, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, running in 6th and looking strong. This is what the battle for about 9th on back looks like. The 21 of Brett Baker runs in 9th. He's the lead car in this big group. Running in the 10th position, Cameron Norton in the 1. Alex Tesdall in the 16 and 11. Ayrton Frederick in the 15. Napa Shetty in 12th. And Trey Hollywood in the 8 running in 13th. Jason Armstrong running in 14th. To give you a bit of an update on where some of your favorite NASCAR MotorMaster Series drivers are running. And the 2-time NASCAR World Champion from Gran Turismo Sport, Trenton Krentz, is running in 15th. And back up front, this is what the battle for the lead looks like. Very similar story to stage number 1. Coming up on a car, put him a lap down. That is Timmy Brown in the number 9 Chevy Camaro. He's in a playoff spot in the point standings coming into this race. Not having the run he was hoping for so far in New Hampshire, but he's going to play it smart here, let the leaders go, and live to fight another day. On one of these MotorMaster Mondays, been doing these for 4 calendar years now, folks. Started on NASCAR Heat 2. Here we are on NASCAR Heat 5 for the 2021 season, the 4th annual NASCAR MotorMaster Series season in these Xfinity cars. We've always driven the preset sliders. Bring it closer to, bring it more all about the driver's skill and the driver knowledge of the racetracks. Though there is certainly an art and there's a lot of skill involved to making a setup and making it work on race day. And we're going to throw it down to the M-Race reporter Cameron Norton to find out how many laps to go here in stage 2.
Coming up on, I believe, 9 laps to go on the stage. I'll double check for you, I'm about to cross the line. And we have about 9 laps to go. Right
Spot on. He predicted 9, and we have 9. 9 laps remaining here in stage 2. It's round 22 of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series, hosted right here on NASCAR Heat 5. And it's been one heck of a race here so far. Trying to find the battle for the lead. I've been going through the field a little bit, and I've been getting a little bit controller happy and hitting the buttons a lot. And there's been a change for the lead up front as they have now 8 laps remaining. Jordan Dorsek in the 74 has worked his way around Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7, and he has driven away just by a couple of car lengths here. And it's Matt Smith in the 10 running in 3rd, just behind the 7 machine. And Jason Doro in the 08 car finds himself in 4th. Stephen Corley in 5th. Robbie Racing is in 6th, and Crashin is still in 7th. Dustin Franklin in 8th. Brett Baker in 9th. And it's still a big battle there for the 10th position on back. 7 to go. Jordan doing everything he needs to do at this point. It almost looks like he was able to save his tires a little more than Josh Colm-Diaz over the course of this stage. It looks like Josh has really good short run speed. And once Jordan in the 74 is able to run him down, it looks like his car might have the advantage on the longer runs. We've only seen 1 caution in this race for an on-track incident, and we've got 25 drivers in this event. It's been a very clean race since the start of this one, and I don't know really how many more yellows we're going to see, but I do believe that the more we see, it might help Josh in the 7, and the less we see, it might help cars like Jordan Dorsek and Matt Smith, who appear to have the long run car. Throwing it down to the M-Race reporter, Alex Tesdall, driver of the number 16 Chevy Camaro. He's got 2 wins this season. Alex, how's your car feeling? You're just inside the top 15 there, and you're in good company. A lot of drivers with good talent around you.
Car's feeling good because it doesn't seem to have the speed of the leaders right now. I don't know.
Tell us about the tire wear, because we know that you guys are plenty good on fuel in these stages if they go green the entire way. What do the tires look like towards the end of the stages?
Tires actually are holding up pretty good too.
Yeah, the Magic Mile, New Hampshire, is showing mercy here for these 25 NASCAR MotorMaster Series drivers. And problems for Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 61 Toyota Supra. He is parked on pit road and motionless. The crew is not working on that race car. It appears he is done for the day. And that is a shame, folks. He was running inside the top 12 when that happened. And see if we can get an update for you. And see if he returns for the MotorMaster Monday main event at Iowa Speedway later tonight. Jeffrey, a former NASCAR champion on NASCAR 15, and certainly capable of doing the same one day here on these NASCAR Heat games. And from one driver to another with those types of abilities, here is Nick Donfrancesco in a number 6 Camaro. He's got front end damage. He was up there in the top 10 towards the beginning of this race, top 5 even, and now needs to work his way back through the traffic a little bit. He's got 5 wins this season in the trucks, but still looking for that first one this season in MotorMaster. And I believe we're on the last lap. I would need to confirm with one of our in-race reporters. So, yeah, I thought so.
We got 1 more to go.
No worries. So the white flag has now been shown. I can tell something was going on. The virtual fans around this racetrack were making noise over in turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 for that matter. And they're on their feet, folks. Half a lap now for Jordan Dorsek in the 74. He's going to come around to claim the Stage 2 win. Able to put a lap on Ryan Schreck in the 19 there, and Ryan's going to get the free pass at the end of this stage. The green and white checkered flag in the air. Jordan Dorsek picks up another stage win. It's on a roll this season, folks. 5 wins, and comes into tonight 3rd in the point standings, firmly locked into the playoffs. At this point, just trying to build as many playoff points as he can to further increase his chances of getting to the Final 4 at Phoenix. Going to throw it down to the M-Race reporter, Alex Tesdall, to get the top 5 from Stage 2.
JWoww, Flash 9, Mucka, NASCAR King, Diesel.
How about that? Matt Smith, 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion, finds himself all the way up into the 2nd position at the end of Stage 2, and he started at the tail of the field, and he slowly worked his way forward and been doing a great job. I believe we just saw a car disappear on my screen, and I'm not even too sure who it was. It might have been the 22 of Stephen Corley. No, never mind. I see Stephen. I'll figure that out here. And we're going to rack him up in double file and send him out for the final stage here, round 22 of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series. Posted right here on NASCAR Heat 5. There you see them. 25 drivers started this race. Most of them are still on track. 23 cars on the track. And the green flag is back in the air. Pit strategy for Nick DeFrancesco to get himself up there, battling for the lead, but he's going to surrender it really quick on those older tires. Jordan Dorosek in the 74 takes the lead. Matt Smith, much lower line through that turn, trying to keep Stephen Corley in the 22 behind him, and as they come out of turn 4, Jordan's got the advantage. Oh, Stephen's got a mirror full of Jason Doro in the 08 car. He's in 4th. That white Chevy Camaro is catching him. And Josh Cole-Diaz, he's led a lot of laps in this race in that 7 car. He finds himself mired in traffic in the 5th position. Clashin is in 6th. Brett Baker finds himself in 7th. It's the highest all race long Brett Baker in the 21 has been. Of course, Brett coming off a legendary win just last night, and a huge wreck on the front straightaway, the biggest one we've seen all race long, and the caution is out. Wow, Bradley Gilliland, Nick DeFrancesco, Cameron Norton in the 1, Timmy Brown in the 9, and 2 or 3 other cars were involved in this one, and a lot of damage to the front end of all those drivers that I just mentioned. This is the second caution of the race for an on-track incident. 25 drivers started this race, so the fact that we've only seen 2 yellows for on-track incidents has been pretty impressive so far. It's been a very clean race, and a tough break for all 3 of these Chevy Camaros that we're looking at right now on our screen. And we're going to go back up towards the front here. This is what the front runners are. This is what the kind of the running order looks like here. Jordan Dorosek, Matt Smith, Stephen Corley, Jason Doro, Josh Cole-Diaz. They're the top 5, and they've arguably been the strongest drivers of the race, but then again, keep your eye on drivers like Ayrton Frederick in the 15 Napa Chevy and Brett Baker in the 21. They've been fast all race long, but they've just been stuck in traffic. The green flag is back in the air. Through 1 and 2, they look pretty organized there. Down the backstretch now. Jordan's got a car length advantage over Clashin in the 07 machine. Going a little bit deeper in the field to see where everybody else is running. There's 3 wide for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Oh, there's still 3 wide there as they head into turn 1. It's Brett Baker, Robbie Racing, and Alex Tesdall. The 16 of Alex Tesdall up towards the wall a little bit to give these drivers room. And some of these drivers are going all the way down onto the apron in these turns and diamonding the corner. That is allowed here at the Magic Mile. It's just hard to keep the car in control when you put the left side tires down on the flatter part of the racetrack. And Brett Baker in the 21 is a driver I'm noticing that's able to do that every now and then out there in this race. They're all chasing Jordan Dorosek in the 74, and we're trying to keep our eye on some of the action mid-pack and back. Remember, I was mentioning Ayrton Frederick there. You see him running in 3rd. That number 15, Napa Chevy's looking strong. He's been slowly working his way towards the front. I've been keeping an eye on him all race long. Up into 3rd, and seems like he's keeping good pace right there with the top 2. Checking in with Kevin Tattersall, driver of the number 54 Toyota Supra. He's worked his way inside the top 10 after starting back in the 24th position, but that was by choice. He elected to start at the tail of the field and worked his way up inside of the top 10. Looked like there was contact made there between he and Robbie Racing in the 99 rather. Don't think it was intentional, as Robbie is not really known to do that sort of thing, and they both soldier on. Kevin loses 2 positions in the process, but he's still right there in the thick of things. Throwing it down to the in-race reporter, Cameron Norton, to find out how many laps to go in the final stage.
Let me get back to the line and I'll let you know.
Sounds good. And Dustin McClintock off the track and done for the day, it appears, in the 0 Chevy Camaro, former NOSSCAR winner on NASCAR 15. So I believe this leaves 23 cars left on the racetrack and competing for the New Hampshire 200 win.
We have 43 laps to go.
Perfect. And you heard it from your in-race reporter, one of two in-race reporters, and that is former NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series race winner Cameron Norton, driver of the... Sorry about that. I thought I saw contact between the 6 and the 12, and that was heading into turn 3. Might have been a lag spike there. Sorry, okay, so former NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series race winner, driver of the number 1 Chevy Camaro, Cameron Norton. Sorry about that. And following up on this, it's a fierce battle here in the mid-pack area. It's actually just behind our two in-race reporters. They're 3 wide. It was Harold Burton in the 39, Trey Hollywood in the 8, and Trenton Krentz in the 36. And all these drivers have fast race cars and just been stuck in traffic. And see, the thing is, a lot of these drivers have the skill and the ability to go up there and lead laps, but the field is always so competitive and the track is always so congested, it's hard to find yourself at the front towards the end of these races and capitalize when it all counts. Right now, it's Jordan Dorosek in the 74 leading the race. Clashin in the 07 is running in second. Stephen Corley in the 22 runs in third. Winless here so far this season, but he's got a win in the Truck Series on Tuesdays. He came at Homestead, the Holiday Bash 200. That was his first career NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series win. He's locked into the playoffs on Tuesdays. He would love to do that here on Mondays for MotorMaster Monday. Good old 6-time is in the race. There's Jordan Green in the Hunt Brothers Pizza, number 47 Chevy Camaro. 6-time NOSSCAR champion, all of which came back on the NASCAR 15 Victory Edition game. Has wins in the NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series as well, and looking to add another here for the MotorMaster Series. Always brings a fast number 47 Chevy Camaro, and he's always bringing a fast 00 Chevy Camaro for the NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series as well on Friday nights. Just behind the 2-time NOSSCAR World Champion from Gran Turismo Sport, the 36, the blue car there. There you see him, that was Trenton Krentz. He's in this one as well.
If it goes green, we are going to have to pit in this stage.
Yeah, let's throw it down to the in-race reporters for a moment. I made a mistake. I was under the impression you guys were able to make it to the end of the race if it were to stay green in the final stage, but I was wrong. Looks like you guys are going to need to make green flag pit stops, but it might be right sides and maybe half a can of fuel. Am I right around in the ballpark?
Yeah, we may be able to pull some strategy.
This is interesting.
Those of us that are in the back, we might be able to pull some strategy.
And drivers like Harold Burton in the 39, you know he's already thinking about it, known for his fuel consumption skills and abilities. He's won a couple of races in that fashion. And when it comes to pit strategy, there might be no smarter driver than Brett Baker in the 21. Chevy Camaro made history on Friday night, the 4th annual NOSSCAR Daytona 500. 30 drivers entered the 100-lap race, and it was Brett Baker parking in a victory lane in the number 12 Ford Mustang for Steel Horse Motorsports. It's been all over social media, and it's arguably the biggest NOSSCAR race in history. It's definitely the largest NOSSCAR Daytona 500 in history. Most star-studded driver lineup race in history for NOSSCAR as well. 12 drivers that entered the race finished in the top 50 for at least one Winter Heat Series qualify round, and 5 of those drivers participated in at least one of those events. So congratulations to Brett Baker, and good to see him following it up with a good run here on MotorMaster Monday. And good battle here for second, third, and fourth. Getting a report that Clashin in the 07 got loose coming out of turn 2 a couple of laps ago when I was touching on Brett Baker's Daytona 500 victory. and he's lost the second position as a result. In fact, he's now outside of the top 10, and he might have even surrendered his track position and already made his pit stop because of what happened. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see where he is in a moment. But we can tell you that Jordan Dorsek is still leading the race in the 74. Stephen Corley in the 22 has worked his way up into second, looking for his first career NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series win. Just behind him, Matt Smith in the 10 runs in third. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 car runs in fourth. Jason Doro in the 08 runs in fifth. He's been top 6 or 7 all race long. Ayrton Frederick restarted at third. He's fallen back a little bit to the 6th position on older tires. Robbie Racing in 7th, Dustin Franklin in 8th, Brett Baker in 9th. They're all chasing Jordan Dorsek, and they're all going to have to make pit stops if this race stays green. Only seen 2 cautions for on-track incidents in this race, so we don't really know. We don't really know what we're going to see in the final stage. The 18. Oh, and we're getting a report that Clashin in the 07 is actually motionless on pit road and done for the day, and that's a heartbreaker. He led laps in this one at one point, and he was up there running in second when he had that problem getting loose at a turn 2. And I believe maybe the frustration sunk in, or he must have made contact with the inside wall, and it appears his race is done. And around goes Alex Tesdall in the 16 Chevy Camaro. I caught the tail end of it. I believe there was contact with the 19 of Ryan Schreck. It could have been a different car. Throwing it down to the InRace reporter, Alex. Alex, what happened there, buddy?
The 19 just hooked me.
Oh, man. Yeah, I caught the tail end of it, and then when I went back quickly, because I did a double take and I wanted to see what happened, you were already around and up into the outside wall. Is there any serious damage to the car?
Actually, no, never hit anything. Just looped it and kept going.
Oh, okay, very good. On our screens, I thought anyways that you went up and made contact with the wall, so good for you. And yeah, hopefully you can soldier on and get a few of those spots back. Just behind you, Jordan Roughton in the 18 Toyota Supra made heavy contact with the wall that last time by in 3 and 4. Running a much higher line.
3 and 4 is really treacherous. I'm seeing a lot of cars getting really loose.
Yeah, is it just me?
Really loose after the spin.
Yeah, let's ask Hammer Norton this in the 1 car. Is it just me, or is there less grip in turn 4?
Turn 4 has had less grip, and the last couple of laps I've been getting sideways, and it's been really, really treacherous. So I'm seeing a lot of drivers getting loose.
More green flag pit stops were happening there, and I didn't see who it was, but there was a car that dove down pit road, and no, it wasn't the leader, okay, because it was a car that looked a lot like the number 74, but it was not Jordan Dorsek. Here comes Ayrton Frederick, though, in the number 15 Napa Chevy Camaro, and this might be a race-winning move. He was close enough to the leader making this pit stop, where if short pitting would be an advantage, it might be good enough to get him the win. He was running in 6th when he made that pit stop, and we're going to keep our eye on some of these race leaders to see when they decide to come down pit road for scheduled service. You don't want to make the pit stop too early and then a caution come out because you'll be stuck a lap down. But you don't want to pit too late either because you want to use those fresh tires to get some track position before the end of this race. It's no good putting 4 fresh tires on the car when there's only 3 laps to go. So there's a fine line to walk here, and it all comes down to when we see a caution or if we see a caution. Jordan Dorsek, the leader. Matt Smith is in 2nd, and this is the battle for 3rd on back that we've been watching for the last couple of laps. Jason Doro in the 08 runs in 3rd. He just took it from Stephen Corley in the 22 Ford Mustang. He now sits in 4th. Kevin Tattersall 5th. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 car runs in 6th. Brett Baker in 7th. Dustin Franklin in the 11 car running in 8th. I believe that was the 90 machine of Bradley Gilliland on pit road for scheduled service. And there goes the world champion, Trenton Krentz, back onto the racetrack in that blue number 36 car. He was running in 15th when he made his scheduled pit stop. And the car behind the race leader, which is the car we're watching here, that is Ayrton Frederick in the 15. And he's already been to pit road to get his 4 Goodyear Eagles, maybe 2. I didn't see exactly what he took on the pit stop, but he's gaining ground on the race leader right now, and this would give us a little bit of an idea on how much faster new tires are than old.
Apple's going to pit road.
Oh, you're right. Nick Don Francesco goes to pit road. There was a couple of cars that made contact coming out of turn 4 there and went swerving down towards the inside wall. I believe that they gathered it back up, but that looked a little bit intense there for a moment. Matt Smith in the 10 car. I didn't see him come to pit road, but he's on pit road, leaving after getting service. There you see him, and he was pitting out of the 2nd position. It's going to be really interesting to see what these drivers do on these pit stops and where they cycle out. Throwing it down to the M-Race reporter Alex Tesdall to find out how many laps to go here in the New Hampshire 200.
About 22, I think.
I can get you here. I'm about to cross the line. $21.
21 laps to go for these race leaders, and there's the battle for, I believe that's the battle for 3rd and 4th. Stephen Corley in the 22, Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7. Just behind them, you saw Matt Smith in the 10 car coming into your picture a little bit. Going around, Brett Baker in the 21. Some of these drivers have been to pit road, and some of them have not. Gordon Dorsek in the 74, for example, has not been to pit road yet. And here he comes, folks. He's going to surrender the race lead, and here he is. Jordan Roughton in the 18 car on pit road as well, and the laps are winding down here. Under 20 laps to go here in round 22 of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season, hosted right here on NASCAR Heat 5. 25 drivers entered the New Hampshire 200 here, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the Magic Mile, and 22 drivers rather are still on the racetrack and battling for the win. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 is on pit road, as well as his teammate, the 9 machine of Timmy Brown, and the 1 car of Cameron Norton, their teammate at Timac Motorsports, comes in to join them for service. Going to take a short break from full commentary, very short actually, because the laps are winding down, and when the green flag cycle of pit stops is complete, we'll give you an update on the running order, and we'll leave you with our 2 race reporters over the next couple of laps, handful of laps here. You're watching the New Hampshire 200 here on NASCAR Heat 5. And we are back bringing you full commentary for the closing laps here of the New Hampshire 200 New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We're going to throw it down to the M-Race reporters to get a little bit of an update on the running order. And first question is, who is our race leader after that cycle of green flag pit stops?
This is 74.
All right then. So I was really curious to see how it was all going to cycle through, and it turns out it's Jordan Dorsek that is the race leader when it all is cycled out, and he doesn't have very many laps to go until he closes in and captures his 6th career NASCAR MotorMaster Series win and 6th of the season as well. And the only thing I believe that would maybe stop him is if a caution came out on the racetrack. He's got a lot of cars that he's got to work his way past right now. He just put a lap on Trenton Prince, and he's coming up to put a lap on Jordan Green. Ayrton Frederick will be the next one in front of the 74 to go a lap down. And so he's got a few more obstacles in his way, but not many, as he closes in for his 6th win of the season here for the NASCAR MotorMaster Series. Going through the field. I'm just going through the field a little bit here. About 12 laps to go for the leaders, and it looks like Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 is actually behind Stephen Corley in the 22, and they're both behind Robbie Racing in the 99. So change for position there over the course of the cycle of pit stops. Robbie Racing in the 99 is up a handful of positions. And there's a good look at Jason Doro in the 08 car. I believe he is scored in the 3rd position, and we're still trying to work our way through this field and see if we can figure out the rest of the running order for you. Okay, so the top 5 looks like this, folks. Jordan Dorsek in the 74 runs in the lead, and Matt Smith in the 10 runs in 2nd. Kevin Tattersall in the 54 running in 3rd. Jason Doro in the 08 runs in 4th. So 10 laps to go for the race leaders here. It was a 100-lap race with 25 drivers entering this one. So many different lines and so many different grooves you can use at New Hampshire, and we saw every single one used. We saw 2, 3, 4 wide, especially in stage 1, and that's when we saw a couple of incidents and minor contact here and there. We've only seen 2 cautions for on-track incidents, but it was enough to get these drivers to calm down a little bit, in my opinion, for stage 2 and the final stage. We saw much cleaner racing. We saw a little bit less 3 and 4 wide, but still a whole lot of side-by-side action and battles for the lead. And we've also been able to see a green flag cycle of pit stops here in the final stage. We've been lean, mean, clean, and green for the entire final stage, and that opened the door for some pit strategy, knowing that these drivers needed to come to pit road to get service if the entire stage went green. And when it all cycled through, Jordan Dorsek of the 74 went in the leader and out the leader at the end of the cycle of pit stops. He still has a couple of cars to work his way around before the end of this race to put a lap down, and he's not getting challenged by the cars behind him at all either. He's looking a little bit deeper back here, and Matt Smith in the 10 car is now going into turn 3, whereas Jordan Dorsek is already exiting 4. Down the front stretch now. And the leader not in sight for the 10 car. Matt, of course, comes in as the points leader. He was battling for second with Kevin Tattersall in the 54. Kevin has since then faded back just a little bit, and now Kevin actually battling for position with, see if we can find it here, battling for position with Jason Doro in the 08. That's the battle for 3rd and the final playoff point at the end of the race. Down to the final handful of laps here. Jordan going to the inside of Alex Tesdall in the 16, and we're actually going to throw it down to the in-race reporter, Alex. Alex, what position are you in? How far is he lapped up through the field here in this final stage?
I'm currently running 20th.
Oh, jeez.
Cam is 10th.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was going to say, so the one car just in front of the race leader, Cameron Norton, he's running in the 10th position. And so that just kind of gives everybody at home a bit of an idea on how far up the leaderboard Jordan Dorsek has went here in the final stage. Some of these drivers pitting at different times during this final stage, trying to get the best track position that they possibly can. And it appears that the right strategy and the right amount of speed has come with Jordan Dorsek here to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. He's led the most laps in this race. He's got the stage wins and closing in on his 6th win of the season. Track looks pretty clear in front of him now at this point. I don't think he's going to be dealing with any more traffic before the end of this one. Keep in mind the blue car there, Trenton Krentz, just came off pit road, but I'm assuming he's going to have 2 right side tires on that car, so he might be able to stay in front of the 74 and not be a problem. The fans are on their feet here all around the racetrack. They're cheering. There's still battles going on all over the track. There's a good battle for a top 5 finishing position here between Stephen Corley in the 22 and Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7. There's battles all over this racetrack all the way down to the very end, and the white flag has been shown to these drivers. Just a half a lap remaining for Jordan Dorsek in the 74.
Turns 3 and 4. He's going to win it. That magic money.
The Magic Mile was good to Jordan here tonight. He wins the New Hampshire 200. 25 drivers entered the event. We saw 2 cautions for on-track incidents. 22 or 21 cars running at the finish. And we saw different strategies all throughout the final stage. These drivers didn't know when to come to pit road or what to take on their pit stops, but the 74 team had it all figured out coming into this one apparently, and he captures his 6th career NASCAR MotorMaster Series win. 6th of the season as well, and closing in on NOCO's record for 10 wins in a single NASCAR MotorMaster Series season in these Xfinity cars running the preset sliders. And apparently there was a big crash coming to the start-finish line between Brett Baker, Ryan Schreck, Timmy Brown, and Jordan Roughton. 4 or 5 of them there. And we're also getting a report that the 15 car of Ayrton Frederick got a pit road speeding penalty, and that's why he was kind of out of contention towards the end of this race. A couple of post-race interviews coming up before we send them back out for the MotorMaster main event at Iowa Speedway, and we get a word with our top 3 finishers and, of course, our race winner, Jordan Dorsek. You guys got pictures of the results?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thank you.
What a race.
What a race is right. Fastest lap of the race went to Jordan Dorsek, so there was a lot of justice here in tonight's race winner. Sometimes, not always, does the fastest car go out there and win the race, and we've seen that a lot in all different forms of motorsports, so it is kind of a feel-good story and a feel-good moment when you do get to see that. And yeah, a good moment there for Jordan Dorsek in the 74. Again, folks, post-race interviews coming up. Flash 9 second. Who's third, boys? And let the post-race interviews begin, folks. It was round 22 of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season, and it was the New Hampshire 200. The Magic Mile was good to us, folks, and it was magic for these three drivers. Three very familiar drivers for these post-race interviews. In fact, all three of which came into tonight's race, the top three in the point standings. Finishing in third, the driver of the '08 Chevy Camaro, Jason Doro. Jason, first of all, congratulations on a good run out there. And secondly, I was saying all race long, all broadcast, because when I was given the running order rundown, the leaderboard rundown, your name was in the top 5 all race long. You had worked your way up into second at one point. I think the worst you might have fallen back was about 10th, but one of those restarts, you soldiered right back in the top 10 within 1 or 2 laps. How were you able to do that out there, and how were you able to come to New Hampshire with such good speed for this race?
First of all, thanks, Ty. Congrats, Jay. Wow, Flash 9. New Hampshire is one of those flat tracks that I have a tendency to be good at. It's more of a rhythm track, so to say. Once you get into a rhythm, you just got to be patient, keep your car clean, work your way around everybody, let them make mistakes, and just stay consistent.
You got 3 wins this season. You came off a big one last week at Gateway. It's a similar track, really, to New Hampshire, very flat as well. Did you try to use that momentum coming into this? And did you learn anything from Gateway that you maybe applied to this race tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Patience. Patience. Let the guy in front of you make the mistakes. Just keep in your rhythm, stay clean, and try to catch that 74 car.
Easier said than done, I'm sure. I know you're the feeling, too. Take us through the 3 and 4 wide action that we saw here tonight at New Hampshire. A lot of different lines that you can run here.
When your tires are fresh, they stick to the track well. You're able to take it 3 wide in some of those turns. You know, with the right drivers, you have to have confidence in those 2 other guys that they're going to hold their line. It's just a lot of fast cars out there tonight. I want to give a shout out to NASCAR King. He had the car to beat off the rip, made it hard to pass him, fought back every lap. Couldn't ask for better.
Congratulations on your 3rd place finish.
Thanks, Ty.
And I couldn't agree more with what Jason Doro just said there. Shout out to Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 car, ran strong and qualified 2nd for this race and was a big threat for the win here tonight in New Hampshire. Moving forward with the post-race interviews, we have the 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion Matt Smith, the driver of the 10 here in the NASCAR MotorMaster Series, picking up another podium finish and another playoff point, coming off a strong performance last week where you nearly won at Gateway and you came 2nd in the 4th annual NASCAR Daytona 500 this past Friday. You've just been on such a high roll of momentum lately. When you came into tonight's races, what were your goals and how did you think you were going to fare at New Hampshire?
Well, I wasn't expecting to come from the back, so that was quite the experience. Not that it was, bad or anything. It was really hard to pass when you were catching guys too wide and just kind of having to sit there to be patient, make your move. I think Clashin and I, we kind of took turns following each other up through there a couple different times, and finally got up there and, had some great 3-wide racing at a track you're not really supposed to do that at, but just wasn't fast enough for the 74. Came in on that one caution thinking that tires would be a little more important than they turned out to be, and gave him like a 4-second head start and tried to short pit, which only ended up hurting us more. So I'm satisfied with 2nd, and congrats to him. He was really fast.
Again, so many different lines that you could use here tonight in New Hampshire. We saw 3 and 4 wide action. What was working best for you, and is there anything you maybe could have done differently to reel in the 74? It took you, we realized you started from the tail of the field, and by the time you did work your way up into the top 3, at times he had already checked out. Was there anything you maybe could have done a little differently?
I'm guessing he probably had a little bit of a looser slider than I did, which probably gave him a little bit easier turn in the front of his car to cut through the center. That's about the only thing I could think of. For that last long run, I tried to put the left side air pressures up just a little bit to help the looseness a little bit. But, I mean, by the time I got back up to second, he was already 4 or 5 seconds ahead. So he's not somebody that I'm going to be able to catch, from that far behind with in a preset car, unless he speeds or gets involved in an accident. So I've raced him enough. He's fast enough. He doesn't make many mistakes. So just had to take the best finish I could get.
Another podium for you. You're still the points leader leaving this race. Only 7 races until the playoffs begin. What are your goals, and what do you think of your chances for tonight's main event at Iowa Speedway?
Well, I think with all our second place finishes, our average finishes, rather well so far this year. So, just same goal, every race, try to win the ones I have a shot at. And I know I had to hold off the 74 the first time we were at Iowa, so we'll try to get in there with the same goal again.
Wishing you the best of luck, and congratulations on your second place finish here at New Hampshire.
All right, thank you, Ty.
And moving forward, we're down now in victory lane, and we see Jordan Dorsek and the entire number 74 crew celebrating here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway's victory lane. 6th win of the season for you, and in dominating fashion, you led the most laps. You were up there from the start to the finish in this race, really. There wasn't really a time when you got kicked too far back in traffic and had to work your way back forward. You just seemed to be consistent, smooth, and you made the right decisions. What was it that brought it all together for you tonight? How did you park it in victory lane?
Just a fast race car. I don't know what else to say besides that. You just had to manage your way through traffic sometimes, keep your car clean, not getting any damage. But once you got in front of that clean air, it was just smooth sailing from there on out. There was a caution in stage 3 with about the first 3 laps into the stage, and I was the leader, and there was about several other people that were going to go pit, and I was about to say, if Flash and Mucka pit, then I'm going to stay out, because I know a lot of other people were going to stay out with me or take 2 tires, because they're going to have a lot of trouble managing through their traffic and costing them time. And I knew after that run was done, I would already had a good comfortable lead on them. But I'm just happy to bring home the win for my team.
It looked like some cars had a short-run car, like Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 and Stephen Corley in the 22, but then it looked like some cars, like yourself in the 74, Jason in the 08, and others, Matt Smith in the 10, had long-run cars. If that's the case, let me know. And secondly, how were you able to ensure that you had such good long-run speed?
I didn't know I had a long-run car until about, I'd say, the end of stage 2, because I actually thought I had a short run car at first, because I was actually going into there's about some PJ1 and on the apron where it really turns your car, gets you some front turn, and you don't want to go there for too many laps in the beginning of a run, because then at the end of the run it would just spin your car right around before you know it. And but once I got into the rhythm, and I knew after so many laps after that, I can't go in that PJ1, just to go right above it, and your car was loose enough it'll turn. It would glide right around the corner, and that's what I found out in stage 2, and just went through the rest of the race with that.
6 wins this season now. You're 4 away from tying the record that Noco holds for 10 wins in a single season here in the NASCAR MotorMaster Series. Is that something that you think about as the season progresses, or are you just trying to win as many as you can, and however many you get is what you get?
How many races we got left in the season total?
About 16, 15, 16.
16? Okay, I say it's a goal I'm looking for. I mean, I mean, it's tough to get 4 more wins in this league, but with the big 3, with Mucka and Flash, I'll just have to find my way through other races. The road courses aren't my best, but short tracks, mile and a half, there's also super speedways. Those are like my strengths. But yeah, I think that's a goal I'm looking for. Maybe try to get 11 this season.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. You're well on your way of doing that. Congratulations on your big win here at New Hampshire.
Thank you, Ty, and congrats to Flash and Mucka for a clean race and getting second and third.
You heard it from Jordan Dorsek. 6th win for him and that number 74 team here in the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series hosted on NASCAR Heat 5. We saw one heck of a race here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. 100 laps, 25 drivers, 3 and 4 wide action, long green flag runs, short runs, a green flag cycle of pit stops with some strategy there at the end in the final stage. And when it was all said and done, Jordan Dorsek in the 74 parked it into victory lane for the 6th time this season, and it was an honor to call the race. From all of us here at NASCAR, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and coming up here shortly for the MotorMaster main event, it is the race from Iowa Speedway, 125 laps of madness from Iowa Speedway, from one short track, relatively short track, to another. And we hope that you stay with us for that. It's coming up to you in about 20 minutes' time. And from all of us here at NASCAR, we're saying so long and stay fast.